Hello everyone, for today's video round 14 from Clash Chess 2025 Rapid St. Louis, we have the two-world champion Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces against Gukesh with the black pieces. Shaking hand and Magnus start with e4, e5 by Gukesh, knight f3, knight c6, and we have the royal piece, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, and we have the modern Steinitz defense. Gukesh played d6, interesting move. d4 or c4, sorry, bishop g4, and we have knight c3, knight f6, h3, taking the bishop, bishop takes knight, and queen takes bishop. Knight came back to d7, maybe wants to go to c5. Also knight came back to e2, controlling the d4 square. So Gukesh played g6, want to develop his bishop from g7, and we have now h4 by Magnus. h5, d3, still position equal, and knight came to c5, attacking the bishop, so bishop takes knight and pawn takes bishop. d4 by Magnus, attacking the center. Pawn takes pawn, and knight takes pawn. Position still equal. We have bishop g7 by Gukesh. Knight takes pawn, and queen d7, e5. Good move by Magnus, protecting his knight by the queen. And if you take the pawn, I will take the knight. Discover attack for the rook. So Gukesh played queen g4, want to exchange the queen. So Magnus played queen d5 and castled by Gukesh and castled by Carlsen. White slightly better now. So queen takes pawn on h4. No, Magnus can take on d6, I think. So pawn takes pawn on d6, pawn takes pawn, and bishop came to g5, attacking the black queen. Maybe wants to go to e7 also. Queen e4 wants to exchange the queen. Bishop a7 and rook f c8. Rook a e1, attacking the queen. Queen takes queen and pawn takes queen. Knight d3, attacking the rook on e1 and the pawn on b2. Rook e4. 5 by Gukesh. Not correct move. Now the e6 square became weak, so Magnus played rook on d6, attacking the pawn on d6 and g6. So knight f5 and the rook take on d6. Knight takes d5 and the bishop came back to g5 by Magnus. And now the position is advantage for the white. Rook c7. And we have knight d8. Want to go to e6, fork to the rook and the bishop. So knight came to e7 and the rook e1 attacking the knight. So bishop f8. And now came the knight to e6, fork the rook and the bishop. So rook c6, want to exchange the rook. So rook d7. Double attack for the knight on e7. Knight came to c8. And now the position is winning for Magnus. Knight takes bishop. And the knight jumping to the b6, attacking the rook. Another rook came to e7. And Magnus now have one more pieces. He cannot take the knight with the king, maybe checkmate. So checking hand and Gukesh resigned. Good game by Magnus. Good fight. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget like, subscribe, share this video. See you in the next game. Bye.